All right, we're focused on American owners that are not fan favorites. What about some North American owners that very much are fan favorites? You know, I'm talking about Wrexham. Augie, this has kind of become your beat, which I think, you know, if you think about the platform, the size of ESPN, it talks about the success of this project. You've been there a couple times in recent weeks. Tell us what it's like and maybe how it compares to the product we see on TV.
Well, it's an incredible story, isn't it? It's a real feel-good story, and I think the one thing that Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, I can't even say his name, McElhenney, I better learn how to say that properly, haven't I? I've been saying that a lot in the next few years. What they have done, they've done it with a smile on their face, and they've done it, little things like putting money behind the bar at the local pub for the fans to celebrate the wins, and just doing everything right, taking on board what the fans want, not doing stupid things that upset the fans. And they've really embraced it. They've admitted from the off that they weren't football fans, they didn't know the game. And they've admitted that they love the game now, they've bought into it. So I think the fans have really bought into the fact that they are so honest and genuine. Now, they've got this team that have scored over 100 points in the National League so far. They're going to go up this weekend. If they beat Boreham Wood at home, they'll be promoted to the EFL. They were relegated from the EFL in 2008. Now, I've been speaking to fans at the club this week who said that back then they had owners who wanted to bulldoze the ground. They wanted to bulldoze the ground and build a warehouse there. So these guys have come in and they're basically promising the earth and they're delivering it. So it's a really good story. And yes, it has become my beat. There should be 3 Wrexham games in 2 weeks for me. But I have to say, I was at the game against Tamworth 2 years ago, the very first game which they played under the ownership, and I think it was 1,800 people there. And Tamworth played at a ground called the Lamb. It was named after the pub next door. This is the level we're talking about. It really, really is grassroots. But they've just done it so well. And I think, yeah, there'll be people upset because they spent a lot of money and the clubs in the National League can't compete. But, you know, Wrexham is a club with potential. You know, they're going to build a new stand that's going to become a 15,000-seat stadium. They'll fill it every week because, you know, I suppose guys in the US now understand about Wrexham, but they kind of represent an area that's got one football team, and that's Wrexham. The whole of North Wales, you've got Liverpool and Everton 50 miles away, and that is it. So it's got a massive area of potential. So they can go from 15,000 to 20,000, 25,000, and you know, we look at teams like Bournemouth in the Premier League who get 12, 13,000, no real history. You know, Wrexham could quite easily get to that level with the right investment, with the right decisions, because they have a fan base that can grow with the club. So I expect them to beat Boreham Wood at the weekend and get back at the EFL. And then from that point on, they really can go as far as they want to.
Augie, they're very popular here in the States and in North America, obviously because of the ownership, Hollywood, etc. But just how popular are they in Europe?
Well, they're definitely popular in Wrexham. And I think, to be honest, they haven't really caught on in England or Europe as much until the last 3 or 4 weeks when it's become clear that they're going to get promoted. And I think that has helped, but I don't think they've got the same, I won't say celebrity, but the same kind of cachet as they do in the US, because obviously the hugely famous people in the US, always sunny in Philadelphia, Rob McElhenney, it's not really a thing in the UK, but obviously we know who Ryan Reynolds is. But they are getting that kind of coverage now. When I was at the game against Notts County, which was that ridiculous game where they won 3-2 and Ben Foster saved a penalty in the 96th minute, there were kind of newspapers and media outlets from the Netherlands, from France, from Spain, also ourselves, you know, ESPN, a US, you know, giant of a sports broadcaster. So this story is going global, and it is a 5th tier of English football. It's the non-league basically. So that shows you how big a deal it's becoming. You know, it's a really good story. I mean, I wouldn't normally do this level of football, but I'm really enjoying it because you can get access to the players. Everyone's genuine. People want to speak to you. There's no kind of cynicism or, you know, try to be kind of deceptive. It's just so honest and so open, which is great. And I think that is why it appeals to so many people, that it's just a refreshing sense of everyone's enjoying themselves.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.